I'm always snacking. That's true, but I definitely got a random ass plate of rice in front of me, bro. I was starving, bro. I literally got a plate of rice. Y'all, like, while y'all are talking, I'm gonna be in the corner on these little ass windows, just grubbing on fucking rice while nobody's listening. All right, so they can see us, they can hear us. Yes. What's up, everybody? Oh my God! Welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Predcast. Y'all tell me if y'all like that name, because I still like it. I don't know why, bro. I'm caught up on the name, but I still like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Right? I think it's simple, to the point. People get it, and if you don't, anyway.
Stick around, you'll understand.
Right? So, for those of you that do not know, this is a weekly series where we essentially go over Predecessor news. Specifically, you know, we do compare Predecessor to other MOBAs, of course, you know, given that there's competition out there, whether it be Paragon, the Overprime, League of Legends, etc. We do try to keep it as much as Predecessor related as we can. We did receive actually quite a little bit of information about the upcoming future of the early access, and we're going to dive deeper into that. But before we do so, let's go ahead and introduce everybody in here. If we could, let's go in this specific order. F6, let's do JPie, Medkit, Bearded, and then myself. Tell everybody who you are, a little bit about yourself, and then pass on the torch.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm F6, Air Force vet. Play video games now just because it's fun. You guys probably see me around the community, but I'm here enjoying it. Love Predcast. So I also make YouTube content. If you guys want to know anything about offlane, because nobody likes offlane, I'm that guy. So, yeah.
Bro, I didn't know you served. Thank you for your service. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Thank you, man.
As a vet myself, I'm like, wait, did we have this conversation?
Thank you.
We may have, to be honest, because I have it a lot with a lot of people.
I told you.
Okay. No, thank you for your service. I appreciate that.
No worries, man.
Listen, you're definitely throughout the community. Like you like to be in streams and talking with people and shit.
Yeah.
I just found out today you got a YouTube, so everybody go follow this man's YouTube. Let's help kickstart that for him if we could. But go ahead and pass it on. Go.
Yeah, well, you know, F6, I definitely want to talk about the solo lane too, man. I can't wait until we get into that conversation because it needs to be had.
It needs to be had.
Oh, yeah. And I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm JPie. My channel, I like to call the dojo. Long story short, new players teach old players, and old players teach new players. It's basically a place where we discuss Predecessor and we learn from each other, and we try to help raise the overall level of the community in terms of knowledge and skill and everything. We you know, you could think of it as like a normal martial arts dojo. It's something like that, but with Pred. Now, with that said, I want to just say one thing, because I want to have this episode be hot. And I want to say something that's going around in the community, because I'm one of the few people that feel this way. You know what? I'm lying. I'm like the only person who feels this way. Crunch is not overpowered. He's carried by Mutilator. And you take Mutilator away, all these crunches are mediocre. Garbage. Okay, that's my intro.
Right, like, this is the fucking intro. This man's doing a whole acceptance speech. What the fuck?
While you all crunch on that, Medkit, do your introduction.
I hate him. Oh my God. Go ahead,
What's up,
Medkit.
everyone? My name is Medkit. I somewhat agree with JPie. I think Mutilator is a bit overtuned. Not gonna go into that too much right now. I just want to introduce myself. Hi, hello, how are you guys? I've been being a little selfish lately. I've been just kind of streaming, just kind of playing Pred, not really doing too much content, like video-wise. Those you know, take time. I just wanted to play some Predator, and I can't wait to talk about the. We'll talk about the two things we're gonna talk about. I'm excited to be here.
I heard him say Predator, and then he went Arnold. You saw that? You saw that? My dude went Predator. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck did I just hear?
I think he was trying to say get to the chopper. I think is what he was trying to say there. What's good, everybody? I am the Beautiful Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and very excited to bring this episode to you. I do have one question, though. F6, why do you hate the number 6?
It's not that I hated number 6. I come from Smite. That's why you quit in Smite instead of F1. So I used to like always like just get me out. That was like my whole thing. Just man, it was a thing.
Got it.
That's
All
where
right.
it comes from.
All right.
All right.
No, he's a surrender champ. Oh no.
Get me out.
I did not know that shit.
Thanks.
All right, but what's up, guys? I am Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. I do everything from mobile content, a little bit of strategy, a little bit of racing here and there. But this specific episode that we're doing is, as you guys know already, the Predcast. Now, we do stream these live every single Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the Bearded Wolverines channel, and then we do post it on my YouTube. And I think the actual schedule that I'm kind of going to stick to is Wednesdays at noon. I'd like give it about a day buffer or so from the live stream. That way, you know, if you want to catch it live, if you want to interact with us, be in the chat, you know where to find us. Links will be below. But here, we're going to get into multiple subjects, right? Let me ask you guys a very vague question, and I want to hear everybody's reaction.
Overtuned.
I don't give a fuck about Crunch right now. But no, so how do you guys think that now that we've spent a little bit more time with Predecessor available, right? It's not just the first week. It didn't just come out. There's competition on the horizon. How do you guys think people are reacting to the game? Do you think they like it? Do you think they dislike it from the people that you've talked to? What have you guys seen in your experience 2 weeks deep?
Honestly, I've seen people kind of go on the hype of Overprime a little bit, kind of like, oh man, we didn't like certain things in Pred, so they hopped over there, but then eventually came back from a lot of people in my community, at least, and like my friends, they're like, oh wait, no, Predecessor is actually where I want to be at. And so I think the game is fantastic, and I just think it's just more of a balance / item changes, to be honest, at this point.
J-Pie?
So I actually finished watching today the For the Minions episode. That was like the most contentious episode, and they raised some valid criticisms, absolutely. And between Predecessor dropping and now, I mean, I think that it is going really, really well. I mentioned this. I was on the Reddit earlier today. This is a paid early access. It's been the initial hype has died down, and we still have a healthy amount of players. Additionally, because it's paid early access, and because I had an opportunity to interview Robbie Singh, who is Omida's CEO, who mentioned they foresee their greatest growth to be free to play. So if we compare, again, I don't want to make this just a whole Pred versus Overprime thing, but if we compare the life cycles of the game, they're both in early access, but Predecessor has one trick up its sleeve, so to speak, in that when they go to free to play, they're going to have a bit of a boon to the player base. It's going to have an impact, absolutely. And I don't know if Overprime spent marketing dollars on their free to play, but it's something that has to be noted and taken into account as well, because it is a big factor. But regardless, I do think that both of these games are great. They're a lot of fun, very different, and everybody has their own preferences. We should debate them even if we disagree with each other. I think 100%. And yeah, with how different that they are, and especially considering the regions where they come from, I do think that they can coexist, but Predecessor's better. That's the truth.
I feel like your camera knows when you're going to get in serious, because it's just like it zooms in for the serious moment, and then you say
He literally just stopped talking and it zoomed out, bro. That shit's wild.
I don't know.
Money well spent on that Insta 360 link.
So
though.
I agree with what you're saying there, J-Pie. I do think that these games do need to be compared, and we do need to have these debates, not arguments, I wouldn't say, because I mean, I don't think you should be arguing with your friends that you play games with. I think you can have a debate and have disagreements is fine over things, but like discussing that, because especially us on this platform, it's great for us to have it on this platform because we're able to then root out some of the things that the community is going to want in Predecessor to help improve it to what OP has, right? Because we can definitely grab things from OP that like, hey, we enjoy this, let's bring this over here to Pred and make Pred better for that reason. You know, just like how we could do the same thing, we could reference Fault and grab things that we liked with that Fault did and bring that over, you know, like the aspect system. A lot of people love the aspect system that Fault had. We could see if we can implement something like that in the Predecessor way. So I completely agree that we definitely should have these discussions. I think it's just what I don't like about it is you have your OP fanboys and you have your Pred fanboys that are literally sitting there thinking that only one way there's only one right direction when there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat type situation, right? Like it's what
I've
you
never
prefer.
heard that expression before.
1,000 ways to skin a cat?
That's country as hell. It's country as hell.
Well, if you could see out my window, you would see that I live in the country. I'm literally country as hell.
About to say that it's country for sure. You got to know what skinning a cat is to be like, I get it. Okay.
So, but yeah. So there's different way. Like you could like certain things from one game. Doesn't mean you have to hate the other game either, though, right? And we can play them both. Like I enjoy playing both. But when I'm talking about playing a MOBA, like Predecessor's the style that I actually prefer over it. When I'm talking about just teaming up with friends and having a good time, PTO is there. You can definitely do that in PTO for sure.
What about the community reception on your side, Bearded? Like, what have you seen people that they dig it or?
It's literally 50-50. I have friends that are, hey, I was just talking in your Discord, Swiftblade, he loves OP right now. Mm-hmm. And he literally just started today playing Pred. He picked it up today, so he still needs some time to get into it. But the initial comparison right now, OP's is what he prefers. So, that's completely fine. Yeah, like I know other people who prefer OP over Pred. I prefer Pred over OP, but I would say it's about 50-50 with my community.
Yeah, I had super interesting. I asked this poll on Twitter and on YouTube independently, right? Mm-hmm. And I literally was just asking people, what are you leaning towards? That's it, right? I didn't say anything to kind of sway them in any way. I said, playing 1 week one game and then playing 1 week the other game has been mind-blowing as far as expectations versus reality for both of these games. Mm-hmm. What are you guys leaning towards? On YouTube, 74% preferred Predecessor over Paragon the Overprime. That's about 150 people voting, by the way. So not crazy numbers, but pretty wild. And actually on Twitter it was a little bit closer, but I think it was like 60-40, like 65-35, right around that area. But I was actually very shocked because in the initial, when I first posted it, and Bearded saw this,
65 Pred,
65 Pred. When I first posted it,
polls finished with Pred at top, right?
At the top by a good margin, which is wild because Bearded saw it. When I first posted it, every single Paragon the Overprime fan just swarmed. It was like 50 votes to Paragon the Overprime and like 2 Predecessor. I was like, damn, okay, this is wild. And then all the comments that I kept on seeing were like, Paragon the Overprime rocks, Pred sucks, and that's it. That's all they said, right? But once people actually, started getting into it, started giving feedback and everything, it was actually kind of wild to see that number slowly go towards the Pred side as time went on. And you got individual comments like check this, for example. Somebody said, you hit the nail on the head, brother. Expectation versus reality. In a nutshell, I think people assumed these two projects were light years ahead of where Fault left off. Pred with his smooth gameplay, Overprime with his roster and dynamic gameplay. In reality, they both still feel like starter projects. They each do one or two things really well, but heavily lack in other areas. So for me, this was definitely the case of reality not meeting the high expectations that I had for both of those games. I don't have a preference right now because they both need so much work. Nothing is pulling me either way. I thought that was fucking amazing feedback, bro.
That was great feedback, and it's true. I mean, I feel like a lot of people, especially, I mean, I'll say this: the Pred fanboys. When I was a Fault partner, the Pred fanboys would sit there and just trash Fault like it was nothing, even though it was the only game that we could actually consistently play. You know, and they would talk so much shit about it, and they would act like their game was just so much better when they haven't even had a chance to really play their game. And I'm like, that's not true. And here we are now. We're actually consistently able to play it, and you can see that it's not that far ahead. I mean, I do think the gameplay, literally just the gameplay itself, is better than Fault. But like Fault had a lot of other things that were working. You know, we had custom matches, we had a store, we had you know we had a bunch of other things that you could add with that game and work. We had skins. You know, you didn't have to wear the same skin every time. You know, like you could actually change things up. So there was things that Fault had that definitely made it better in this situation than what Predecessor is right now, or even PTO.
You know, I never expected to hear that from you, Bearded. Like that Pred was further along, because I know you absolutely loved Fault, and I would say I would go out on a limb here and say you loved Fault more than most people, because it inspired
Possibly.
you. Yeah, I mean, think about it. You went from a console gamer to buying a PC to play these games, and then Fault is you put yourself into that. And yeah, Fault achieved a lot, and they did a lot of great things, and Predecessor is behind in some regards for sure. And I'm inclined to agree and feel the same way, that I do think that of the three, I think that Predecessor has the most consistent gameplay.
And it's great, man. Like I will say, I don't know how many times over the past 2 weeks I've sat there and be like, I just want my to fucking run right when I'm not playing Predecessor and I'm playing another game, right? Like there's just been, like, even it's just the smallest inconsistency. Like we really are spoiled as gamers by all means, but even just the smallest inconsistency where you rubber band a little bit, you're playing Call of Duty and you lag, right? Or you do something and it's just like your shots didn't register. Like we're so spoiled in certain games that whenever it goes smooth, it's almost expected, right? But we don't necessarily give credit where it's due, where it's like, yo, it kind of works. You know what I'm saying? I've been lucky enough to not have any bugs on Pred. I'm sure that they have their own little list.
There are.
I
But yeah.
want to hear Medkit and F6 thoughts on this too, but I need to say this right after you said that, because this is literally how I feel about it. We talked about it a little bit last week, but what you just said was perfect in regards to what I was trying to say last week with on For the Minions. They referenced early access games and how this, this is our expectations. This is where we're at, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that I don't think we should keep pushing that gate forward of what is expected for an early access game just because certain games ruined early access in certain situations, right? You look at Epic and how long they had early access with Fortnite when technically you look at that game was not early access at over 2 years that it was in, right? So yeah, they are. AAA companies can ruin early access, but that doesn't mean that we keep pushing that forward. And this is our expectation of what early access is compared to these indie dev companies that are sitting here trying to actually work on a game and get the actual early access that it deserves. So we are spoiled as gamers, and this is expectations that we come to have. And I think we as gamers need to bring that back and give these indie dev companies an actual true chance at early access instead of thinking that they're AAA companies and they should be able to giving us all the games that we want and it'd be full release right on get-go. I don't care if we're paid or not.
F6, please.
I mean, to have expectations for something that they clearly already put where their expectations are was like, hey, we focused on core gameplay loop this entire time. Like, don't expect all this other stuff. They were pretty clear about it. I don't know why people were like, totally surprised about it.
They did announce that like a month before the early access though. So people for a whole year were expecting this fully finished project to come out. And then when they announced, hey, we're focusing on core gameplay, there's not going to be a store, people fucking flipped script the moment they heard no store, right? Mm-hmm. Like if they would have shown those expectations, like it's like, hey, February we announced 22 million, March this is our focus, you get me? That would have been a little different. People would have had time to simmer into it and get adjusted. But waiting till last minute really does feel a little bit like, hey, in order to kind of save us a little bit of backlash, let's just wait till last minute to tell everybody. That's kind of the impression that I get there. But go ahead, continue.
I think it was enough time before like you knew you're gonna buy the bundle, right? So like, let's just say you're like, oh man, there's not gonna be a store or there's not gonna be these features. You knew a month in advance. Like, why would you buy it then? Like, oh no, it's not living up to my expectations. That's kind of like on you at that point. I mean, it was very clear, said over and over, a whole video in the Discord on Reddit.
That's fair.
We should be holding those standards on something when they've clearly already put their standard of like what they were focused on and what will be added during early access.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's definitely very different. And you're totally right. I don't know why people do that. It's like, hey, we saw the expectation video, right, of what we're focusing on, what's going to come. You had a month to simmer on it. Then we had leading up to the early access, they released little teaser videos, prices, etc., right? And if people still buy it and then complain about the expectations, that's a little weird.
Right.
That is a little weird.
Another thing that ties into that, and again, I'm only making this comparison because of where we're at. When we played all of the Pred stress tests, there wasn't a store with a bunch of skins that we got to play with, right? When you go to PTO and you played their closed beta test and their final beta test, you got to play with all these fancy new skins, right? And now the early access for PTO's out, and you're limited on skins, right? Like all those cool skins that they had in there, that you can't, they're not all in the store. You can't go get those skins now. Like, okay, I can't wait. I'm gonna grab this skin, which I can't think of one right now. I think one of the several ones will be gone or something.
Let's say a bunch of them. Rampage, the Gorilla Grodd one or whatever.
That one's gone, right? It's not there. Like, so you know it's gonna be introduced later on, but you got teased at. There was no teasing in this with the Predecessor stress test. Like, oh, look at this skin in the store. Look at this skin in the store. So there was no expectation buildup for a letdown.
See, but I think that's where people created their own expectations as far as they got skins in the other game. Well, Predecessor has 22 million. They got to bring skins too.
Right.
Like, I feel like all the expectations came.
Predecessor didn't build that expectation. Right?
Agreed.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't build their own expectation and then take it away from you. Like PTO did. PTO built up your expectations. This is our skin game. Look how great it is. All right, well, now you're only going to get a third of this.
Yeah, I all the expectation issues that I've seen from people having with Pred, at least from my experience, have always just come back to the money. People say, oh, why don't they have this? They had 22 million. Oh, why didn't they do this? They have 22 million, etc., right? And I just honestly think like they might have not directly set that expectation, but by banking so much and publicly announcing so much and news articles and this and that and etc., focusing so much on the 22 million, everybody assumed that amount of money automatically equaled success. And when they assumed, they were never quieted, they were never silenced, they were never like, hey, let's simmer down, that doesn't necessarily mean this. They were just, the imaginations were let to run wild without any like, hey, tone down, let's keep realistic expectations here. So even though they might have not started the fire, they definitely didn't try to put it out until last minute.
Well, yeah, and Windu, I want to interject here because having a lot of money is absolutely a huge benefit, but a lot of people quickly forget that Predecessor started off as an indie studio with just less than 10 developers. And that's being generous because it was really like Robbie, Smokey, and a handful of others for the first like year or whatever it was. And they received that funding. But the reality is this: consumers are never going to know this. When you have a company that runs into a lot of money and there is rapid expansion, it's very dangerous because it's not easy to rapidly expand as a company, and every company is unique and different, and we don't know their strategy. Like maybe they have $19 million in the bank right now and they're not spending it because they're just trying to figure things out. or maybe they've already spent half of it. Like nobody knows that except for them. And the truth is, when a company rapidly expands, every choice that they make matters, because what they decide to do can just basically be equivalent to taking a shotgun and shooting yourself in the foot. And I do like Predecessor's conservative approach. I do like it. Everybody will say that I'm biased, and I recognize that. That's fine. I respect it. And on a side note, because what I've kind of noticed lately, like with For the Minions and our cast, is that like there's the predecessor side, and then there's the Overprime side. And I just want to issue a challenge. Like, let's have a debate. Why not? Like, we just throw up two people, have a moderator. Like, because the thing is this, I'm starting to notice this pattern of like insulated bubbles growing in communities, and I think that we should try to counteract that. I really feel like, you know what? We have strong opinions. They have strong opinions. Everybody has strong opinions. Let's lean into that, right?
Opinions are stronger.
Right. So like, I'm sure the community would love it. Like, we could just have like a rotation, like just a couple members of this cast, a couple members of For the Minion, and we just talk about it. It'd make for great content. And I think that, you know, it reminds me of Overwatch, right? Overwatch was a sensation. It was big. It's Blizzard's greatest game, and they try to make it like a professional setting where it was so sterile and nobody was able to express any kind of negative opinion, and everybody had to act a certain way. But you know, I like it. I like to think of it more in lines of wrestling, right? We all are here. We're doing our thing. We're you know, playing Pred or Overprime and having fun. Hey, I'll be real right now, Mangoose. I want to see you in the ring, baby. No, I'm just kidding. Mangoose is like the most level-headed.
Pred debate team.
Yeah. Like it should be something fun. Like we can disagree and have fun at the same time.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, too many people get into that one-sided. I think that's just them being cavemen, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
because it's very easy to get into that, because we have the need to get into that tribe mentality and not be like, nah, bro, this is my clique. This is where I identify. These people think like me, so I'm gonna hang out with them and I'm gonna vouch for them and shit like that. And right, like, I got so salty at some of the eggplant writing that I've been seeing around here, bro. I literally made a post on Twitter. I was like, hey man, it's okay for both games to be a work in progress. It's okay for you to like one game and not the other. Like, I respect everybody's opinion. I'm gonna play them both, but this eggplant writing that's going on by some of these people, y'all gotta chill the fuck out, because those unrealistic expectations that you're setting to people are overhyping both of these games, and that can be just as detrimental as much as not hyping it enough.
Yeah. So, right. For example, I want to give a real life example of how that happened. All right. For the longest time, I never watched the movie Fight Club. Okay, never watched it. I just never got into it. Not that I didn't really have any interest in it. I just didn't get to it. Right. So it wasn't until I joined the Navy. It was 2013, and I had two friends in the Navy, and they were like, yeah, found out that I didn't find Fight Club, that I never watched it, you know. So they started just giving me so much shit. Oh, you're not a man unless you watch it. Blah blah. You're just razzing me up and down, you know, giving me the biggest shit, talking this movie up, how it's the best movie there is out there. Blah 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 blah. Razzing this movie up. I start watching the movie, and there's a scene where the guy, and this is gonna ruin it for those. Okay, it's way past spoilers, guys. So it's a spoiler, just a heads up, but it's way past that time frame. There's a scene where the girl, I think she's a good point, coming downstairs, and they walk in. She's talking to the guy, and then he looks down the basement and talks to the other guy, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's talking to himself. And like, it just hit. So it just literally ruined the movie for me, because I figured it out like midway through. I'm like, all right, I already know this movie. And I'm like, all right, that movie was not as good as you guys made it out to be. So just because they hyped it up so much, it just totally ruined it for me. If they would have just said, hey, watch this movie, it's a great movie, I probably would have watched it. I really would have enjoyed it. But because of that, I do not like Fight Club. So yes, I agree with you. Do not hype up something. If you want to tell somebody to give it a try, let them know to give it a try. Let them know you're enjoying it. But don't tell them it's the best game out there. Don't tell them it's amazing. Don't tell them, just let them know to give it a try because you're really enjoying this game.
Reaper said he talks to himself, question mark. He said, I must have gone to the bathroom during that break. I'm not, bro.
That's a fair point, though.
And we'll transition here. And I'm so sorry because I totally took a bite the same exact moment that I wanted to say something. But let's actually transition here because I saw Predecessor make a post that was clever. It was witty. I want to say we're like 2 days into Overprime, and I think the CEO, Ace, made a post saying, "Hey, we have full controller support. Play Predecessor," or something along those lines, right? I'll find the exact
And
actual
drop the Sparrow video.
Yeah, and then drop the Sparrow video, and I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing, bro. You're trying to throw jabs that y'all got controller support and aim assist and everything. Right? I will say though, this video, the Sparrow's cracked on this controller. That really looks like it's aim assist. That looks like aimbot low key. That's a controller. That bitch is too accurate. That's all I'm saying. But how did you guys feel about that post? I've heard some people say it was unprofessional. I've heard some people say that they liked it. It was clever. What do you guys think? Let's go around.
I think it's very professional. I think it does exactly what you're supposed to do. Like if you guys are competing, why would you not, counter advertise or whatever? Like there's no reason against it. Like, yeah. And I jokingly made the same comment when I was watching Pop, Paragon Overprime Partners episode that Mangoose does with Luna or not Luna. Lolita and Stunt and Ego. Mm-hmm. Lolita being a huge controller person. She's like, "Where's my controller people at?" And I typed in chat, they're playing Pred.
Damn.
So I mean, bearded. It was a joke. Stunt laughed his ass off. Go back and watch the video. You'll see exactly what Stunt.
Hey, bearded, high five.
He leans back and starts laughing his ass off because he knew. We're all good friends. We all joke with each other. So, but I mean, that's really what it is. Everybody. Like, if you want somebody playing controller, they're probably playing Pred right now because it is that easy. Right now on PTO to play it, you have to do some backdoor, fancy, abracadabra stuff to make your stuff work, and that's the reason I didn't play Overprime when it first came out, because all the stuff you had to do just to get it downloaded on your PC, and then who knows if somebody else was tapping into your shit because it was using somebody else's client or something. I don't know. So
I liked it. I just was surprised that it was about aim assist and with Sparrow at first, but then after I watched it, then I realized like, oh, wait a minute, I see what he's doing.
If I were a controller player watching that video, I'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta try that shit. That looks way too accurate for a controller. I gotta try that. I saw this shit as a PC player, bro.
I wasn't looking at it as the accuracy though. I looked at it. I was looking at the map out of the controller, like the buttons. I'm like, oh, what button's this? Yeah. What button's that?
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
It made me want to grab my son's PlayStation 4 controller and bring it on and try it out and see what it's like. I want to be like, I wonder if I could actually play as it.
I'll join you. We'll do a controller only day. I got you.
Hey, we should do that. Do some POVs controller only.
I'm down. I'm gonna put it full screen so everybody can actually see a little bit of this controller action. Again, this is everything that we're watching here is full controller, but as we continue, let's keep going around the room. JPie, what'd you think about the controller advertisement post move?
I really, really like it because the thing is this: RGS Ace, so he advertised it as a kind of way of promoting Predecessor against Overprime. Now, I came across a hilarious clip of Predecessor where, so RGS Ace, think about this, a CEO of a company streaming his own game, saying, Howitzer's missile is not supposed to do that. Fix the game. fix the game. Tell me when that has ever happened before. Tell me. I'm waiting.
Well, I mean, that's a quite specific situation, you know. So the only game that Howard's ever been in is Predecessor, PTO, and Paragon. So
But
for
you
me to
know
tell
what
you
I
that, I would have
mean.
to.
Hold on.
You know what I mean.
Hold on, bro. I don't know about you, but in the last couple of months, I definitely saw the G Fuel CEO crash and burn live on stream, bro. So there's that, bro. There's definitely that. There's some shit you should not say about your company on live stream, especially when you're representing it, bro.
No, that was endearing, man. That was
aimbot G.
that was a great
aim
move.
assist.
That was a nice snipe.
Like Predecessor's not perfect, and to hear the CEO just like poking fun at it and recognizing that, you know,
Yeah, he's cool people.
It shows some kind of humility, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, he's definitely cool. Not a lot in
Rewind a little bit
the video.
back to when she's in the river. Yeah,
In the river. Shit.
yeah, right there.
When she killed Kalari?
I don't know. There was something in the river. I want to know if this aim assist is going to just let it go. It's right there.
Boom.
Nah, she released it before. So
Is
like
the
it's
aim,
not
is the aim assist going to help you through the fog wall? Are you going to be able to tell that somebody's out there through the other side of the fog wall? Because all
You imagine because you're aiming that way and your
That's a
reticle
great
pulls
question.
slightly,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, somebody's there. Let me back the fuck up.
right?
Who needs a
That's-
ward?
That's something I literally bring that
Just
up
go
because
over there and
if
point.
there's any pred devs or anybody in here, you know, testers, whatever, that's something that needs to be tested. I believe that's something that needs to be looked at because that's obviously something that's going to be an issue. I believe you know you wouldn't be able to do that, and that fog wall's there for a reason. So
I mean, I think that one was a little bit too close to call.
I
'Cause it was
think so
like-
too, but I didn't see when I looked up. I didn't see Clary go disappear. I just saw
Yeah.
all of a sudden somebody died. I'm like, what the hell happened? I was like, wait a minute.
Hopefully it's not the case.
Yeah.
That'll
I
be
mean,
a
even if it
pretty.
is, it
that'll
just
be
takes-
pretty. That'll be pretty big deal if
Yeah. Even if it is,
game
it just
assist
takes
can
tweaking.
work even through fog walls. That's a bit busted.
Right.
Honestly, I have not ran into any type of like, hey, this aim assist is broken type players in any of the games. Keep in mind, I think I'm level 40 now. I've been playing this game pretty much every day for like almost
Nice.
12 hours, right? So I could say like I have not witnessed one person like completely just obliterating anybody, especially ADC wise. So
Yeah,
I
me
know a lot
either.
of people are playing on controller, so I don't think it's at a bad spot either. So I actually think they're doing a really good job with the controller supported aim assist because that was one of the things I was worried about.
I think also it's too early to tell, right?
True.
Because there's nothing that you can't pull up use a tab button and look and see, okay, this person's on controller. There's no way to tell, right?
There's no
So when you're-
icon, right?
So
like in
when you're
Paragon.
playing the game, you don't know if that person's just that good because we're all new to the community, right? We're all playing together for the first time, you know, besides some of us fault people who, you know, we're game on a fault a lot, but like, so we're playing, I see names. I don't recognize this name. I don't know if this person's that good or not, or if they're using controller or whatever, right? It's going to, we have to like, it's kind of the same thing as the MMR, right? We have to give it time to work itself out. And then once we start playing, it's like, hey, now wait a minute. Like, how
Hold
did
up.
that happen? Right. We're gonna have to see
Yeah.
that for that to happen. And then I mean, obviously what we're gonna hear in the beginning, and obviously even if aim assist is that good, we're gonna hear this anyways from the controller players. They're gonna say it feels really good. They're really liking it. I mean, but yeah, when you have a 12-0 KDA, you're gonna enjoy, you know,
Right.
controller. So, but I mean, and that's if that's the case. I did Sundown on the episode he was here. He was saying that you know they worked on the sensitivity of it, so it's like it's not too strong, you know, for it. It's not just gonna whip you in like, yeah, there's somebody right here, you know, like a magnet, just pull you in. You know, it's like just a little, you know, you have to get close enough to actually make it work.
I mean,
They
that's
need all the help that they can get. No, I'm just playing.
damn, bro. No, but honestly, I think it's pretty decent.
Until I meet a controller player that whoop my ass. I'm just joking.
Bro, but I will say, Bearded has a great point. I've seen some pretty cracked players, but it's impossible to tell whether it's PC or controller, right? I guess just the PC gamer brain inside of me. If I see a cracked player, I was like, oh yeah, he's got to be on PC. That motherfucker's got to be on PC. You saw the way he fucking flicked at me? No shot. No shot. But then again, I also forget that there is aim assist and stuff. So I really do wonder how influential it is. And is it helping players get to more of a level where they should be, or in comparison, because that's what aim assist does, right? Like, it gives a little bit of a boost, not crazy, but well, depending on the game, not crazy, but enough to just kind of level out the playing field sensitivity wise. And honestly, this video, after watching this, it really does make you feel like, yo, if I'm a controller player, I'm gonna play that shit. That looks accurate as fuck. Why not? And I like that they chose a carry, because typically carries on controller, that's where you suffer the most. When you actually got to sit there and aim with the sensitivity. Melee on controller is cake, bro. Shots. Melee on controller is awesome, by all means. It's arguably, some people might say melee on controller is even better. But whenever you're ranged, range definitely has always been the Achilles heel, I guess you could say, of a controller in these games.
Like, you're right, most players don't make it as ranged, and I'll tell you, because I didn't respect controller players until I saw some controller players in Fortnite, of all games, Fortnite. And then I saw some controller players style on some, you know, big name streamer, and yeah, controller players can hold their own, absolutely. And if it just has to be implemented well.
Yep. And that takes time, and that's what early access is for. All right, but we do need to move on. We got to get on to this spicy roadmap.
You want to go ahead and read it, Bearded?
No, but okay. Pull up. It was just brought on me that I was going to read this. All right, early access roadmap. The hunt begins. Early access roadmap, the hunt begins. Hey everyone, we are excited to share our early access roadmap. This blog post will provide details on the different parts of the roadmap. We have also included small update regarding console and our plans for the future. Thank you for joining us on the journey, and we hope you are as excited for Predecessor Future as we are. Alex, lead game designer. Let me bring this down here so I can still see what I'm reading. Right. All right. Okay. Few things I want to point out on this picture that we're seeing here, right? So obviously we know we're getting Countess in December, but we knew that just from the frequently asked questions that we got early on. So Revenant in January, all right. So you guys might as well just quit playing in January, because I'm gonna main Revenant and you're all gonna die. Should be in February. Okay. So that's when Mangoose is gonna finally come back. And then Codename Huntress in March. Now I want to talk to you guys. I brought this up on my YouTube video when I went over the roadmap.
Right.
Codename, to me, I thought was like hey, this is a hint of what our next hero is going to be. She's going to be a Huntress, right? But then we keep referring to her as Huntress the whole time. The fact that it still says Codename here,
that means it's not her official name.
Makes me think that's not her official name. Because it's not Codename Countess, it's not Codename Revenant, right?
It's like the Xbox One X was Project Scorpio or Codename Scorpio or some shit like that at one point.
All right. So, I mean, Scorpio was better than 1X, so they definitely should have went back with the... I hope they make a better name than... I'm going to call her Huntress, because whatever they name her, it's going to be bad.
You imagine?
Like that.
Huntress. Right? Her official name, Claudia, or some shit like that, bro.
Claudia.
Debbie. So
Raven.
Sorry to all the Claudias and Debbies.
I mean, yeah, sorry. I will say, though, just based off of this picture, I have one gripe. I totally get what they're doing. They're doing a melee caster, carry, melee caster, and then carry. That makes sense to me that they're kind of trying to keep it fair on that side.
Yep.
I will say, I don't believe Shinbi should be in there. I'm actually going to go with Bearded for once. I think Terra should have been there instead of Shinbi. Because if you look at the actual,
say that.
Bro, if you look at the actual, hold on. If you look at the actual layout,
This is gonna get good.
you got Countess, the vampire, you got Revenant, which is again like, okay, I can kind of see how those two fit into a theme, right? Then you got Huntress, be like, okay, I can see her and Revenant kind of being vampire hunters of the sort. Okay, I can see that. And then the K-pop star, the fuck? You get me? I'm like, what? If Terra would have been there,
endless cheers.
If Terra would have been there, that would have been another melee. It would have been a tank as opposed to just straight DPS for the next 4 months, right? It would have actually brought some more variety to it. And it would have still all fed the theme that they're all vampire hunters and etc.
Yes. So, all right, you say give me a shout out because Terra's my girl, right? But literally, I just watched it today because it just went live today. Odo posted his reaction to the roadmap, and he said this. He's like, he looked at it. He's like, Shinbi, she doesn't fit the title, the whole theme matrix, whatever the word is he used, of it. It doesn't fit the theme. Right? Shinbi does not fit this theme, and Terra would have fit the theme because she's hunting Countess, because Countess killing her dad and shit. Like, it all would have fit. And I heard when Hodo said that, I'm like, oh shit, let's go. And the fact you brought it up before I even could say it, I love it. Let's go. Bring out my girl Terra.
When people ask me on stream, that's one of the first things I said. I was like, bro, why the fuck is Shinbi here? I get it, like another melee mage, like one of them's bursty, etc., whatever, right? Like, they're trying to do 2 mages, 2 carries. What are they gonna do after that? 4 fucking, like, 2 junglers, 2 solos? You get me? Does that mean we're not gonna get another, like, we're not gonna see Twin Blast for like 9 fucking months? Is that what that's gonna mean?
I'm okay with that.
I hate you.
Okay
If I can nitpick one
I'm an ADC
thing,
main, and I'm okay with that.
Hold on.
yeah,
Are you gonna nitpick in the first part? Because we're kind of moving down the list here. We're still stuck on the December,
hero order.
January.
I'm nitpicking about the hero order.
Okay, what about it?
So me personally, I don't really. I knew Countess was gonna come before Huntress, like lore wise, but we kind of need a 4th ADC. I feel like Revenant should have been first, and then Shinbi. Like, I like Shinbi, I like Countess, I like all these heroes. Shinbi would definitely mix it up on the offlane side. That I'm excited for, because I play a lot of offlane myself, and it's getting kind of boring with seeing the same, like, 4 or 5
play Terra offlane.
Yeah, Terra would have been another amazing thing. Like, the way I thought about it was like, what hero can we introduce that would like mix it up? And we only have 2 assassins. We have Feng Mao and Kalari, both melee, both physical, both AD. Countess would have been pretty cool. But I kind of hope we got an ADC first. So Revenant. If I were to order this, I would have done like Rev first, then Countess, then Huntress, and then maybe Shinbi or Terra.
All right, but I need you to code in the game Revenant on time for December.
Right?
You know, that's the big thing, like, right? So this gives them more time. I mean, I'm not there. I'm saying a lot of his kit is probably done right now, but they still need a little more work to fine tune it to get it ready for January, right? We don't know when in January. It could be January 31st for all we know.
Yeah,
right?
And
but
Revenant
it
does
needs time to get that. He's got that NetherRealm all.
Yeah,
you know,
he does have
shit
all
goes,
that
like,
stuff.
there's a lot
around.
of stuff that goes on, so it takes more time.
Yeah, he's also got that unique reticle, right? He's got
with the reload and shit.
Right.
And they could be putting in like the bullets and stuff, and how like what it has to be like there has to be easy readability for Revenant users. Plus the homing, and maybe there is some time needed in order to like polish out Revenant. Countess, in my opinion, might be a little easier because her abilities are a little more straightforward if they're keeping her the same, right? The Dark Tide, the Dark Siphon, the teleport. Like, me and JPie talked about Countess before with Mangoose, and we all agreed that I think the most like tweaked ability, 2 of them would be the blink and the ultimate.
Yeah. I mean,
so I do agree with you that ADCs need to be in the game, right? But
at least the 4th one.
How many mages do we have? How many mages do we have right now?
Too many.
Because we got Howie, we got Bellica, we got Faye, and Gideon, right?
Gideon. Gadget.
That's 5.
That's literally a handful.
I mean, so think of it like this.
You're not taking Shinbi mid lane though.
I mean,
you could do some jungle or whatever.
I mean, in general, right? But let's just say so far, right? So you're gonna make it 6 mages to the 3 carry, and then you finally add a carry, and it's like, okay, so now we at least have 4 carries, 6 mages. But then you add another mage. You get me? Like, you're gonna make it 8 mages.
Well, she's an assassin.
I mean, but
it depends on what the team wants to do with her.
Okay,
like,
wait.
Do they want to keep her an assassin, or what's their goal? We don't know.
Window's onto something. All right, now,
like, ratio wise,
numerating the mages is the wrong thing to do. Let's numerate assassins. Let's start from there.
2 right now.
Kulari
and Feng Mao.
Feng Mao.
Chimera.
There's only
Full physical. Chimera is not an assassin.
He's not an assassin.
He's not an
What?
assassin.
He's no way, bro.
He's not an
He's
assassin.
he's a chaser, but he's not an
Oh
assassin.
my goodness.
He
gracious.
Not at all.
fit
He
the
doesn't have enough
characteristics
burst.
of assassin in Predecessor.
I mean, with as many cracked AD items as there are in Predecessor, everybody that's AD
Assassins
kind of
in
fits as an
Predecessor
assassin.
Need to go.
No. Like,
Go ahead, JP.
I'm a terrible Feng Mao player because I always play him Bruiser. So I don't know anything about him. That's all I got to say here.
He's 100% an assassin. Feng Mao. Chimera is a fighter. You want to build power, health, and haste on him. For Feng Mao, you want power, pen, and haste.
But okay, so I'll give you Countess, right? And again, Countess makes sense with the theme, by all means. Revenant and Huntress, if they're both carries, which we're assuming Huntress will be a carry, right?
Yes.
Who the fuck knows? But we're assuming so.
That's been confirmed. Or Ace said it himself.
Yeah.
Like as a role? Anyway.
Yeah.
Range carry, yep.
Anyway, so when you look at them, it's like, okay, so we're in need of carries, I get it. Countess, we're in need of assassins, okay, I get it. Why Shinbi?
Because we need solo offlaners.
Yes, I agree with.
Terra can be a solo offlaner.
Oh my
Terra too.
gosh. Have you ever
I'm
played her
okay
in
with Terra
Paragon?
and Shinbi.
No,
Yes.
no way.
we
This
need
isn't
more-
Paragon.
We need more ADCs. We need more offlaners.
There's
Right,
no
and
way.
Terra can be an offlaner.
No.
Terra offlane.
Menace in the chat.
Terra too.
Menace in the chat said that she would have been a perfect counter to Crunch if with her CC reduction if you kept her the same.
So she could put on her helmet and resist an uppercut. That doesn't make her a perfect counter to Crunch. She slapped like a wet noodle.
She's protecting.
All right,
that
and
chin
you
with
can
that
obviously
helmet.
increase those
Yeah,
numbers
you
to
just
where
change
she's
those
not
numbers
slapping.
around.
Like that's just number changes. All right, and she
Yeah.
was. You think what was she in Paragon to you apparently? Because
By the
people hated
Disruptor.
taking her in the jungle. Disrupt. She was still a solo laner. You're disrupting from the
And she
solo
was the
lane.
lowest tier solo laner, and she
I
needs
don't, it doesn't
improvements.
matter.
She-
She's still
she
a solo
only had,
laner.
like,
You want
3
a solo
weeks
laner?
of
I'm
play.
giving you a solo laner.
until
A mediocre
mean-
one when I have Shinbi, the greatest solo laner that ever existed in Paragon.
Okay.
Wukong said-
Okay.
You have application
You don't like
me because I
because
speak
we
the
need to get
truth.
rid of this
I
one.
accept it.
Your hat's blocking that light from your eyes, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Than Wukong on the off lane.
Wukong was a goat.
Oh yeah, no, Wukong, yeah.
He said, wait. Hold on.
Wukong was a
You're right,
Greystone
yeah,
on
yeah,
steroids.
You're right, dude.
Wukong was
Jesus
a Greystone
Christ.
on steroids that had a
Alright.
stun.
All right, we
All
got to
right,
move on.
yeah. So moving down here. So the end of season rewards. It's interesting that they're actually going to progress the actual. I mean, they're going to give you what's it called? Retroactive
Retroactive.
rewards on the progress. Level 10, you get a profile icon. Level 20, you get a counter skin. Level 30, you get a profile icon. Level 40, you get a Huntress skin. And then at level 50 and above, this part surprised me. They're going to give out 300 coins per 10 levels. And you can go all the way to level 300.
Yep.
That shit's nutty. And that's awesome that they're willing to reward their community with in-game currency that they can use on skins just by playing.
Yeah. I would say no cap, but it says capped at 300. So
Yeah.
I see what he did there.
Make it at 300.
How
though.
dare you?
I don't.
You don't you don't think so?
You're at 40. I don't.
This
think
is
anyone
this
near
is
your
this is
level.
all the way till March, bro. You got to 40 in a week and a half.
Yeah, I know,
bro.
but
You can
like,
do it.
Bro, a week and a half. You still have
how many week and a
three
Everybody-
3.5 months, bro.
Cheer him on.
I'm
He
gonna
can do
make
this.
them regret allowing that.
300, man. That's
You
it's
got this,
rough
man.
party. It's like a level a day right now. Like I'm talking about like 8 hours of play, just like a level a day.
A level a day.
Good thing you got 3.5 months. You got this.
I mean, I'm gonna shoot
All
for it. I'll
You
take
got
it.
this.
Yeah.
All right, I need Windu's opinion here. That how often are you gonna be using that Huntress profile icon?
The Huntress profile icon?
Yeah,
Probably never, to be real with you.
really? Even with that purple
Really? You don't
face
like it?
paint and
No,
those
you're
purple
picking
eyes?
Countess icon over that.
I would pick the Countess one over. It's got more purple. Like I'm literally staring at a picture of Kalari that got replaced with a vase. That's Kalari. That's
Nah.
I don't think
Look
the
at
hood look.
Stop. Look at the
That
profile
Huntress
icon.
icon
That
looks-
profile icon is black and red. There's no purple in the profile icon of Countess. So you're completely wrong for saying that is.
Oh no, I'm looking at the Countess skin. Oh, you're totally right. I'm trolling. I wouldn't pick either of this. I really wouldn't. I don't give a fuck about it. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about it.
All right, on to the skins. Okay. Down here, we scroll down. These are the skins that they're going to give out with these level progressions, right? I am not impressed. Just being honest.
Me neither.
The Countess skin, to me, that just looks like a recolor.
Yeah, that's the most boring.
Basically.
It really is.
I mean,
I know Windu likes it because it's purple.
I would rather wear that. I'd rather the purple one over the red one, but besides
but
it's still just a recolor.
Yeah.
I
And
prefer
then
the
the Huntress one.
I prefer that purple Countess skin over the Huntress one. I don't know.
But that's
I mean,
a
I
character
don't-
art,
don't-
though.
I think Crashy
I
said it
wasn't
best
impressed
in his
either.
video. Crasher did a video on the roadmap, and his video, he just says this color palette just doesn't. It's not there. I think
Everything's very neutral.
In my video, I think this skin with a recolor is going to be great. Like whatever they flash this up to make it look like is going to be better than this very like blah brown.
I don't know. Imagine her.
This Jack
doing that
Sparrow
Raven
meets
dash.
Bane sort of skin. Like what the fuck?
Does that give that Raven darkness mist vibe? I don't know.
I need it
think
to be
we'd have
black
to
and
see
purt
it like
then.
in game first
The
because that's just
Raven,
character art.
Yeah,
that
and this is just
Raven
the
one you're
concept
talking
art.
about is the Sparrow skin. That Sparrow has that dark.
No. One of her abilities, she like turns into a bird.
I get that. And I'm saying that skin, what you're talking about, is giving her that. Take that Sparrow skin, and put that on her. That would be.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. That would be.
That color palette.
That one.
And then she could
Right.
literally, and she would. Paragon had one for Revenant. Revenant had a very dark ravenish color.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I remember
it's
that.
black and purple. This
I remember
brown and I don't know dark blue pants that she's wearing doesn't fit that with her.
It
purple
doesn't fit
mohawk.
that. I agree. I don't.
Is it me or are they like when I'm the picture I showed on the screen that's like everything put together? Is it me or is that Huntress skin trying to look a little bit too similar to Revenant?
No way.
Mm,
The Countess skin, it's not different enough to be considered.
Sorry, not the Countess skin, the Huntress skin. The Huntress skin to
is
Revenant.
hot. But that's a concept art image, and it
Yeah.
totally goes with like you know New World, that MMO,
Yeah.
that whole
I can see that.
aesthetic. They're kind of trying to
Okay.
nail that, and the Hunter skin. Oh yeah, like I want to see the actual skin other than concept art because that one is okay, like the concept art, but it could be really cool if they
The one for the picture over March, that little picture that right there for that March one, that looks a million times better than the concept art they put next to Countess.
Bro, honestly, that kind of looks like the Raven Sparrow skin got modified with the purple
does.
feathers on the shoulders and everything.
Yep, it does, and I think that looks so much better than the skin that we're gonna get at level 40, or that F6 already has.
Damn,
All right. All right. So, all right. One hero a month. As Robbie announced in the Predecessor Early Access Beyond video, we will be releasing a new hero every month. Along with each new hero release, we'll be doing balance patches to ensure the best possible gameplay experience. If we feel that the current balance cadence is not sufficient, we will increase the frequency of these patches. I feel like that's something that Jelly Knees on For the Minions just kind of skipped. He complained about how they said he's going to do they're going to do balance patches for the hero releases, and he feel like that's not enough. And it literally says if we feel like the current balance cadence is not sufficient, we'll increase the frequency of these patches. Like that right there says that they're going to increase them once we find out how we feel the cadence needs to be.
I think
Yeah,
both me and you typed that to him, and I think he just kept ignoring it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me say, Bearded, thank you for reading where all of us were too lazy to read.
Got you. So
agreed, because I see that the picture.
all right. Additionally, as a special holiday treat, everyone who wins at least one game between December 22nd, 2022 and January 9th, 2023 will receive a Winterfest present. Now, what scares me is Winterfest present is right under Countess.
Does that mean that everybody gets Countess as soon as you play one game?
But we've already been.
But we already get it.
First 5 heroes, right?
Yeah.
So, like, is the present involved? Like, is she involved with the present? Is it a skin for her? Is it like what is it?
Or is
Why
she
is
just
it
an
under
extra
her?
present because we get it during Winterfest?
I'm
Something to
thinking
do with
it's
Countess, I think.
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be a random like Christmas skin. That's what I think they're just gonna just play, hey, here's a Christmas gift
Old
for like
Saint
one
Rick.
kid. That's all
The
I'm thinking
Richter
about
skin
it.
has to be there. It
It has
absolutely
to, like,
dude.
like there's nothing else that fits this theme.
That
Winter
was like
present.
one of the best skins ever.
Oh,
I
fuck
mean,
yeah.
I mean, and he
Bro.
is, what is his lore? He's a warden, you know,
Right.
so a bounty hunter taking their bounty to the warden, put him in jail. Like it kind of fits the theme, the hunt situation. All
Listen,
right.
I think we're giving like you guys. When I read like The Hunt Begins, you guys took it to a whole nother level. I just like was like, oh cool, it's the start of the game, right? It's all beginning. I never even considered like the whole entire lore and history, and because like 95% of people that are coming to this game have no idea about
the lore.
Countess and Terra and everybody else. So I didn't think that they were going from that angle. I think it does play into that. It's a factor, but it was just kind of like an overall like you know at the start of a race they pop the gun, people start running. It was kind of like that thing. You know, like they used to like hunt a lot of animals, rabbits. Like they would let animals out into the wild, and they would give them a head start of about, you know, a certain period of time, and then boom, let the hunt begin. And it'd be kind of like that. I mean, that was my interpretation, and I'm definitely in the minority here. I could be wrong. So, what do you guys think?
Well, you're wrong. Anyways, moving on.
Well, you're oh, shut down already. That's messed
When
up.
you know, Bearded, when you're right,
I-
you're right, man.
Not the fedora.
I do.
When you're right, you're
like
right.
How you brought real life lore into a game lore and tried to make it work with the way you thought of it. I do appreciate that. It did. I mean, it works there. I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I think them telling us that the lore of Huntress is her hunting Countess, and them saying the hunt begins, it's definitely tied game lore instead. That's why, you know, that's where I'm at with that.
Well, the hunt isn't going to begin until 4 months later when they actually drop the Huntress, though. So,
Well, the hunt begins because, again, like J-Pie says, they let the animals release early, 4 months, and now they're going to release Huntress 4 months later to go find Countess. She's got 4 months to go hide. She's better find a good hiding spot. All right. Season 1 feature list. As part of the roadmap, we want to share some of the content we are currently working on. While we cannot guarantee that everything on this list will be delivered, it represents our current goals and aspirations. We're always open to feedback from the community, and we will adjust our features list accordingly. Please note, the items on this list are not presented in any particular order. The word in here that I love, and I pointed out in my video on YouTube, roadmap, is feedback. Like, they want feedback because they want to create this game off of the community's feedback. They reference the word feedback in this thing, I think 3 or 4 different times. All right. So give your feedback, community. All right. Moving on. Public API. We want to support community-driven projects, so making game information available is high on our list of priorities. All right, this is your third-party websites. So creep score bounties. This one I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about. Predecessor already provides an additional gold when a team is able to kill a hero who is on a kill streak. With creep score bounties, we look to expand this system and provide players additional gold when getting kills on targets who are far ahead in creep score. What are you guys' thoughts about this one?
I don't like it.
You wouldn't like it because you're a solo laner. Anyways, moving on.
I am.
what do you mean? What do you mean? Solo laners are like
Got
the
it.
farm gods, bro.
Right.
But
Want to give up a bounty. He's gonna have the high bounty on his head.
well,
Why would he like it
that
then?
creep
the
score bounty
jungler.
was the biggest concern I had when I read that. I was like, oh fuck.
well, we saw Fault
consistently-
implement something similar, to where when you reach certain levels of creep score back in Fault, you would get favor for every little bit, killing every certain amount of minions and etc. I'm not necessarily.
We don't know how big the bounty is.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it necessarily. But what if every 30 minions you get an extra 150 gold
It's
or
not what
200
this is.
gold?
This is the reverse of that. This is when you have that Kalari that is just split pushing and she's got high creep score and you kill her, you're gonna get a bounty off of that.
Wait,
That's
that is
the way I'm
Burgundy
reading this.
saying
No,
I think
Windu's
it's a
saying that
way.
if he gets more creep score, hey, if I win this, if I lead the game in creep score, I should get more benefits from it. Is what he's saying. Is what Windu's saying.
Oh yeah, no, that's not. What it is.
Oh no. Okay, I totally get what you're saying, Bearded, because it does say you will get additional gold by
it's a
killing
soft combat
somebody
mechanic.
that's a far ahead in creep score.
Yeah. So
if I farm hold on. So if I farm my ass off as a proper, like if I'm properly laning and I farm my ass off and they kill me one time, they get extra reward without having to farm.
It's
Now
a
I gotta
comeback
be,
mechanic.
like,
Then why the fuck am I
extra
farming? I'm just gonna sit there and shoot them and be like, oh, I guess my 30
No.
CS doesn't give you bounty, and I'll just feed off of the kills.
It's not. Well, we're not about 30 CS.
We don't know how
late game
crazy
comeback.
that bounty is. It's a soft comeback mechanic. Hopefully, it's not anything crazy.
We have to
Because-
wait to see how much
Yeah.
CS you have to get the bounty and how much the bounty is. Because honestly, let's be honest, if you have Fangtooth, no matter how much gold you have, it's pretty much GG's.
Yeah, Fangtooth, three of
No.
them, you're set.
No,
You're
Tridian
set.
in chat says it's another comeback mechanic. More, please. Like
no.
this is it, because right now, especially, and we're
No.
gonna get to it, but especially with the way Fangtooth works right now, it is like this game is a snowball game. You get four Fangtooths, you're done. Like the game,
That's it.
your game's
That's
winning,
it.
right? I try to tell my junglers every game I get into, we gotta focus Fangtooth. 'Cause
Yes.
if we get 4 Fangtooths, the other team is not gonna do anything against us. It's impossible. There's no comeback mechanic
Yeah.
really good in this game. So giving you another soft one in this situation is definitely worth it. I'm all about this. And I'm an ADC man. I'm all about getting creep score. I'm all about getting all my creep score as much as I can. All right. But when you got solo mains like JPie with Shinbi, they're going to hate this.
Yeah, I
Listen,
want
okay,
to
feel
reference.
attacked.
I want to reference something RGSA said, about like comeback mechanics, right? He basically wanted to give the team that is clearly ahead the tools necessary to just finish the game, because nothing is worse when you're stuck in a match and the game was decided 20 minutes ago that you're not going to win this. They have 4 fang teeth, the kill, the fang teeth. Oh.
Fangtooth.
Right, get this guy out of here.
I mean the plural for tooth is teeth. So yeah, when you get 4
No,
fang
I
teeth.
know. I'm just bullshitting you.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I
just
like it. I
teasing
never.
you, dude.
but like you guys see what I mean, right? Like
100%.
there are tools given to the team that's ahead to just close the game out. There is still like that little room of comeback potential, but not too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because nothing is worse when you're playing a game and like the enemy team is stomping your team. The game was decided 20 minutes ago. Everyone's trying to forfeit, yada yada. Just that get me out feeling.
Agreed, but I don't think that you fix one problem by adding another problem. Because my biggest issue is this creep score bounty. Let's say they do have 3 Fangtooth. Unless they give you like 1,500 gold or some shit like that per bounty, you're not going to get enough gold killing their entire team twice as opposed to getting that 4th Fangtooth. That 4th Fangtooth giving you like, what is it, like 15-20% extra damage and all that shit? That is nuts. It's a full fucking item's worth of damage that you're getting for completing one objective. The fact that Fangtooth snowballs hard definitely needs to be addressed by all means. It literally is the game, but the fact that doesn't necessarily mean that this creep score bounties is going to help, because we've all seen again that 20 kill Kalari might only have 100 creep score. That solo lane Sevarog that has been literally pushing nonstop and literally is like 0-0, hasn't died but hasn't done shit except push the lane for the last 20 minutes. But because he's got 200 creep score,
Waves.
now he dies once or twice, and now the enemy carries fed because he killed somebody that was AFK farming the whole game.
F6 feels attacked with that comment about
I do. Yeah, I'm just trying to build stacks.
Yeah, you take that back.
He said, I'm just trying to get them shoulders, sir, okay?
F6 is gonna change his name to F Stacks now.
F stacks. That's it. That's all we're about.
I hope that bounty thing is not too much. I don't
the
like.
thing is, like, I like
don't really like
the
that.
idea of the implementation. We don't know what it's gonna be. It could only be 400 gold. It could be 2,000 gold. Obviously, that's going to be. I'm over exaggerating for purpose guys here, right? So we don't know. All we know that we know what the idea of what it's going to do, and I think that it's going. It's a good comeback for the game, right? Now, somebody says rewarding. Somebody in chat says trying to reward failure. I disagree with that. I don't think it's the.
You're almost discrediting the laning phase, though. What's the point of excelling in the laning phase if you're going to reward somebody later for killing you because you did well?
But you have the same thing with the normal bounty system. You might as well say get rid of the bounty system then.
Well, no, because bounty system is based off of KD. Not you could die a bunch of times and not be worth anything.
Yeah,
but you farmed your ass off.
Bounty.
Yeah,
huh?
you can literally be worth nothing because you just keep constantly dying. But that is very different than you doing well in the laning phase where you should be rewarded for doing so, because that is the difference in micro macro.
And you then somebody gets a 1 kill on you because a team fight, they end up getting you. That's all right.
But it
really well and all.
No, but here's what you don't understand. Here's what you don't understand. If you're doing well in the killing phase, you don't get rewarded for killing that person again the same way that you did the first time. You get what I'm saying? You're still doing well. But for you to get a kill bounty, they got to be on a streak of their own. Like here, for these creep score bounties, it's one of those things that, let's say, for example, if you and I are both carries, just to kind of paint a picture here, right, Bearden? If you're at 150 CS, at, let's say, the 20-minute mark, and I'm at 70 CS at the 20-minute mark, I've been straight slacking, right? Now, let's say we're both 2 kills, 2 deaths. Nothing crazy. You're just out farming the shit out of me. You should be rewarded in the gold and the items that you build because you did the micro necessary movements thinking of the macro. You get me? Like all these little things. It is unfair for me, even though we got the same KDA, we're not worth shit bounty-wise to each other. The moment that I kill you, as opposed to just getting like 250 gold, I'm now going to get extra because I killed somebody that did better than me. I'm catching up to you without me having to do any of the hard work.
Let's just hope that extra is not anything crazy.
And that's like, we don't know. Again, I get what you guys are saying, and it could definitely be overpowered in a sense, right? And thank you for the first time chat. But Lone Smoker TV says if it's balanced properly, it's a good thing because it makes matches a little more even. They have it in league and it works pretty well. Parentheses, some part of it. Parentheses.
I like that.
So, I'm okay with it. That's where I'm at. I as an ADC main, I'm all about creep score. I'm okay with it. I understand any little thing, and we have to wait till it's actually implemented to see what it's like. But I'm all about it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm always consistently like top 3 most CS, so that got me worried.
Yeah, even Honey says it could be 50.
Hold on. Like, Always HR just brought up something interesting in the chat. What if you're killing it, right? You're crazy good at CS. You're crazy at the kills, right? You're just dominating that whole fucking game. Traditionally, what is the way that somebody, at least behavior-wise, how do you catch up? You're gonna freeze the wave. You're gonna farm your last hits. You're gonna stop feeding them kills and focus on your farming so you catch up. But now you've been focusing on your farming. Now I'm just going to go kill you while I'm ahead, and I got more gold out of you now as well.
They're going to get so much money, they're going to be able to play whoever they want on Overprime.
It's interesting that they're adding it, by all means. Again, like, we could sit here and debate all day. Like, it's really just going to come down to implementation, by all means.
100%.
But I just think it's concerning.
J-Pie, is that FaZe's backpack on your bed behind you?
No, it's
Dude, your webcam is sick.
It's a bear.
It's a bear.
I totally see why you thought that was a backpack. I get it. I get it.
All right. So, match and details. A set of screens at the end of the match where a player can review their performance against their teams and the enemy's team. Social interactions can also be available here, like adding a friend or reporting a player. All right. So if it says TB Wolverine, don't report them. If it says Wounded Mace, report all day.
merited. Anyway, next.
All right. Player reporting and AFK punishments. Players will be able to report other players in game. Additional players that AFK or disconnect will receive automatic short-term queue bans that increase in length the more games a player AFKs in. Can you then say can you then say it's short-term queue bans if it obviously increases in length? Like, at a point, does it not become short-term anymore?
Right.
I mean, terminology. I'm not mad at it, but the whole banning AFK or disconnect, I think Predecessor's in an okay spot server-wise and connection-wise. I don't really see too many DCs unless it's intentional. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's hard to tell on our end. I mean, you're not. I think,
bro, I play with Joker. Joker disconnects from everything, bro. My dude will be playing tic-tac-toe. He's like, oh, I lost connection. I'm like, bro, Joker, fix your llama internet, bro. And if he's not disconnecting, I think that says something.
So
we need reporting because there's so many assholes out there that, you know what, they face a tiny bit of adversity. And all of a sudden, imagine the opponent not laying themselves before your feet and bowing to your benevolence. And then all of a sudden you just throw the game. No, you guys need to get reported. For real.
That bear is possessing him.
No, man. No.
He's hugging the bear. He's like, man, fuck that shit.
You guys, I don't know how many games you had. I had many games just into the toilet because people just it didn't go well for them. They didn't go 5-0, and now they want to just
the whole MOBA mentality. People, if they die twice in a row, all right, F1, or they just want to quit.
Yeah, F6
or like
or
F6 or whatever.
Laners for that same
F6.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly.
So literally, people just go away, and then you're just left in offlane. Like, what the hell do I do now that my team doesn't want to play?
You're in your own world.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, if you're
it's a pretty boring lane.
Like, that's not boring if you're good.
No, it's very.
He's right.
It's very.
He's right. If you suck,
it's a great place. It's a great place to learn matchups, right?
It is a great place to learn matchups.
It's a great place to learn matchups.
All right.
For instance,
gosh.
So here's the thing though, like your issue, JPie, is the fact that the next thing that I'm going over is going to help fix that.
I doubt that, because I'll tell you what, as a jungler, when I gank dual lane and we kill them both, and then I gank mid lane and we kill the mid laner, and then the solo laner is like, where the fuck is jungle? Fuck jungle, noob trash.
Bro,
and he quits the game.
What
am I supposed to do, man?
Hate that, man.
I have the perfect jungle game, and he just doesn't understand.
Well, if you would get good, he wouldn't have that issue.
I should have killed those 3 lanes and got
You two were there when I played that game where I effectively made it a 4v5, right? I shut down the jungle Kalari. You guys remember? I was level 9. She was like level 5.
3, yeah.
And my dual lane is getting clapped as if like I'm not like they're like, what the fuck is our jungler doing? Do you want a Kalari like living in your lane? Tell me.
Yes.
Liar.
If she's living in my lane, that means she's not getting anything because I'm keeping her controlled. If she's jungling, running all over the map, that means she's getting
in control.
Hey man, I just know as jungle, I go out of my way to do an early gank on solo, and once I get that one kill or that one lead, hey motherfucker, I'm not coming back for like 7 minutes. I just want you to know, I did my part. If you're all ahead and don't get further ahead, that's a you problem.
All right, we gotta speed through this.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one.
Tutorial version 1. We'll be adding version 1 of our tutorial so we can start onboarding players better. We will be improving and expanding it throughout early access and afterwards. Okay, so that's going to be great. All right, and that'll help JPie not have so many people just piss him off because he's a solo main playing jungle. Store skins. The store will be the place players can spend their coins to buy skins. We will start with skins, but expand the type of content we sell over time. So we're gonna get new wards and shit,
avatars, etc.
Yep. Profile account icons. Speaking of more things in the store, this will allow players to select from a range of icons to customize their account, including the icons gained from the early access bundles. JPI, you're showing the bear off in the video, and they're not able to see it because they're only looking at this roadmap right now. So, solo versus AI game mode. We have been working on our AI system for a while, and version 1 for this feature is nearly finished. In this mode, players will be able to play and practice against AI opponents. All right, so you play against people like JPI.
Wow.
Dang, bro. He said you can't jungle. He said you're a bot.
I'm ready for everyone.
He said you're a wannabe phase with a backpack.
Where JPI
Listen,
spawns into
meet me
base,
on the field,
gets
I'm
his
ready.
crest.
ready.
JPI gets his crest, gets his first item, unlocks his first ability, holds tab, and sees that name. And JPI looks at the chat. He's like,
Can I
let's
get
fucking go.
Omega to make it to when you have that little bubble of when somebody's on your screen or close to you? Whenever it's JPI, can I just get it to say JPI warning?
I fucking can't.
All right. Fangtooth buff improvements. We will be spicing up. Okay, hold on. This is Windu loves this just because they use this word itself. Okay, we will be spicing up Fangtooth buffs so that the objective has more depth and greater comeback potential. All right.
Let's go.
Windu loves it so much that in fact he even got a card that says spicy on it. Okay, so he's all about this.
The true story. My Cash App card does say spicy on it.
It does. I don't lie. I don't make shit up here. Anyways, this is great. I'm excited to see this because again, Fangtooth right now is so snowbally. So I'm all about this. Anyways, competitive
Fangtooth.
nights. All right. So this is not for JPI or F6. This will be space where our competitive players can play and compete. This will only be available at limited times when JPI is working to ensure we do not permanently split our queues and will allow us to find good balance between queue times and competitive spaces.
That's the Crucible, but for Predecessor. The Destiny Crucible, but for Predecessor. That's all it is. A highly competitive, only going on for 6 weeks. Do what you can. You get your rewards and be like, bye. Wait till next season.
Good
when
luck.
you said Crucible, I was thinking of the Amazon game Crucible or whatever.
Oh, no.
It's limited time. It only lasted so long.
Oh, no. Damn. Okay.
You know what it reminded me of? In Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, they used to have tournament queue, and it only happened like on the weekends. And you had special rewards tied to tournament queue.
Mhm.
And it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. And I really hope that it's something similar to that.
All right. Custom games. Players will be able to enter a custom key and queue up in a custom game with their friends. To start with, we will just support 5v5, but we plan to expand the system over time to be more versatile. So this will give you those 3v3s, the 4v4s, the 1v1s, the 2v6s. We'll go on from there. I don't know if that's the 2v6. I don't know if that's actually be a thing, but we'll see. Spectator mode and replays. All right. This is what JPI said that we really need in this game. Players will be able to watch live, quote unquote, live matches, as well as playback previously played matches. The quote unquote live here, and I said this in my video, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that's just because it has to have a little bit of a delay.
Yeah,
correct?
that's basically what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I was saying, because
Paragon had a little bit of delayed.
Genesis had that as well. Additional improvements, bug fixes. Every patch will have have bug fixes in it. We want Predecessor to be a polished experience, so we will always work to address issues. Quality of life improvements. There are a lot of small things that will improve some part of the experience for someone, and we aim to add these types of changes as often as possible. Addressing community feedback. I said it again. This is why we are in early access. We will adjust our priorities based on your feedback so that together we can build the best version of Predecessor. All right. Console status. While we are still unable to provide a timeline for the release of console version, at this time, we can confirm that Predecessor will feature cross progression, meaning skins and heroes unlocked will be accessible from any platform of your choice. So F6, yes, it'll work on your phone and you'll be fine.
Thanks, sir.
All right, we will continue to share updates on our progress and will provide a timeline for the release of the console version when we are able to do so. All right, another big thing here, Season 2 and beyond. In my best
Buzz Lightyear.
All right,
voice.
calm down.
You need to be a little bit more buzzed to do that Buzz Lightyear, bro. Drink another beer. Goddamn.
Our plan is to do a second season during early access. We are not sure how long it'll last, but we will use it to continue adding features. We are considering things like in-game player progression, match history, iterations to the map, as well as exploring options for ranked play. We know it will be focused around our second Predecessor hero, currently in development. Keep an eye on socials for more information next year and see if you can achieve Ascension into Season 2. What do you guys think achieving Ascension into Season 2 means?
Ascension is going to be the name of the next season, and it's probably going to have to do something with Seraph. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Just like the whole hunting has to do with Countess. Yeah. But think of it like this. Like Seraph is all about having the two sides, and when she ults, it's like her demon form comes out, right?
Right.
So imagine they're gonna announce their own unique hero, and they gave us the dark bounty hunter. What if they're gonna give us like an angel sort of figure to kind of match Muriel against Seraph and everything?
That'd be dope.
I'm all about it. The end of season rewards in terms, I'm not going to read that. That's just the company reserves the rights to do this and blah, 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 change things and do whatever. So that's your normal, if you listen to a radio show and they're giving a giveaway type thing, that's their jargon. So
Right.
That's a good way to look at it. This is the So that's been on the screen long enough. You guys can pause it and go over that portion too. But
I got a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
So let's pretend they're gonna release 4 heroes again, right? Just hypothetical. And one of them's a Pred exclusive, like their own hero. And let's say the other one is Seraph. In order, what 2 heroes would you guys like to see?
you talking
I'll
about
keep it the same order now. Leave the original hero till the end of the season.
Okay.
So Seraph would be the first one.
What 2
Yeah.
heroes that aren't in Pred yet do you want to see? Like
Terra
in order, just
and
real
Wukong.
quick. Terra and Wukong, okay. J-Pie?
Oh, you know what? Wukong with Ascension, he goes up in the air.
That Terra now, you hear that? He got all excited
No,
when he said
Wukong.
Terra.
No, he's talking about Wukong.
Yeah, I'm a big Wukong advocate. The most balanced, well-designed hero ever in Paragon.
No
I don't
changes
think
to
we have
his
enough
kit.
ADCs, so we definitely need Yin. We need to add Yin in there.
Yin would be spicy.
Dual lane.
I want to go last. I'm having some technical difficulties.
No.
My man said nobody
I
cares
feel
about
like there's
duo. I'm offended. What the fuck?
I feel like there's a
I
jungler
hit
that we're
Phil
just
and
missing.
play whatever.
Oh, Greystone would be great for Ascension too. You get me?
Oh,
They
yeah.
keep that whole
Greystone,
that whole
yeah.
theme of people
So
that go
Seraph-
up in the airs. Seraph, Greystone.
And who
They
else
could
we got?
do-
Let's get somebody else now. Who else we getting here?
Wukong.
I hate it, but Wukong would fit in the Ascension pack, and then another hero that can go vertical.
Like a wall climbing like angel or something.
Greystone's
All climbing angel. That's what I'm saying. Greystone qualifies because of his ult. I don't know, man.
the leap.
Medkit's watching the live version of this right now, guys, so he's catching up to us while we're talking about Greystone.
He said my dude's got a ping delay. No. Oh,
It's
but
coming for everybody right now.
yeah. No, I mean, here's my thing on it. Like,
I
even
feel
though
we're
it's
equal,
cool,
man. Yeah.
even though it's cool that they're teasing a little bit about the next season and like a little code name like Ascension or whatever, right? I just don't want to focus on it, to be honest with you, because the next 4 months alone could be so detrimental as to how they behave as a company. They're a live service game. How are those updates gonna go? We all know when you add one thing, you break 37 others. Again, depending on how smoothly it was done the first time, by all means, and sometimes shit gets overlooked. So the next month alone is going to be so crucial, and what we see out of them as a company. I think that them announcing this roadmap and giving us their thoughts on everything is really nice. They did it in a very good visual way. They, a lot of pictures. Like, again, I didn't fucking read all these explanations. I literally stuck on the picture and I got enough information to be excited. You get me? So by all means, it works. You get me? And I don't even want to focus on next season. I don't even want to think about it. I'm like, hey, when this season goes well, I bet month number 4, we can start talking about next season or whether this season's going to continue. For now, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen in the next 3 months. I'm hopeful, but I'm holding them accountable. You get me? I don't want to give them too much credit about talking about the future and distracting us, even in the slightest way, about what we really should be focusing on. And that's the next 4 months.
All right. Can we get somebody that's not a Debbie Downer to talk?
I am excited though, because I don't know if you guys saw the last roadmap announcement. It was just like a picture and was like, here you go. This one was well detailed, and they kind of went through everything to really tell you what the hell they were thinking of doing. So I appreciate that, just on the like smaller level of things.
I actually didn't know they had another roadmap until I watched For the Minions. They talked about it there. I'm like, oh, there was another one before this. Got it. I didn't know there was even existed. So yeah, that's
their other roadmap. I think they actually hit majority of their stuff. I don't think they hit it completely, but they did actually like attempt it, right? They jumped out and was like, I got a little bit off the cliff. I'll be okay. But I think they did a pretty good job.
All right. Well, we got to call it there though, guys. We've been going for a little bit anyways. Right. Almost 2 hours.
Right? Try to keep it to an hour. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what you get when you talk about his favorite solo lane.
Get me out, bro.
That was the exciting part.
Dang. I will say though, in general, thank you everybody that did tune in for the Predcast. Thank you F6 or X6. I'm horrible with the pronunciation, F6. Bro. Thank you 6. Yeah, thank you 6. And quite frankly, man, like at the end of the day, it's we're spoiled again being able to do this on a more frequent basis now that we have games like Predecessor out and available constantly, as opposed to just theorizing over time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do our outros in the same order that we introduce ourselves. I give a little message from you to the community and then tell them what you're working on next. Go for it.
Or a meta. You can talk to a meta if you don't want to talk to the community.
Or a meta.
I know we know JPad doesn't like the community, so.
Ooh, damn.
He just has a smile on his face.
He said, wait till it's my turn, motherfucker.
My turn.
My name is F6. I do YouTube and Twitch content, all about Predecessor. Just kind of a message to the community in general. Go for Fangtooths. It is honestly the most important thing in the game right now. If somebody's pinging it, just go to it. Honestly, you won't lose lane. You'll miss one wave. It's fine. And try not to be toxic to each other. If you die once or twice, it's fine. Trust me, the Fangtooth will bring you back 100%.
Even if you lose one tower to a Fangtooth, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
If you got Fangtooth, you losing that tower is worth it. 100%.
Ooh, Pie.
Well, Fangtooth is absolutely pivotal in success. And this is the first time I'm stating it on this current stream, but I've actually won multiple games where I was down 5-0 in Fangtooth. And it was just kind of like a situation where the whole entire game, the team is just making big mistakes left and right. And then all of a sudden we pull together in one fight where we actually just trounce them and run it down and kill core.
Did two of the enemies DC or something?
No. We just take a great team fight. And then all of a sudden, that's like late game, we held off long enough in order to do that, which is why I'm not an advocate for the creep score bounty. Because you know what? If you make too many mistakes in the game and you play poorly, you deserve to lose. there should be a point of no return, because you have to perform to a certain degree, and if the other opponent is just that superior, you deserve the loss. You like, there's no reason why you come back from every situation ever. No, there should be a point of no return, and it's up to Omida to decide where that is. And I hope that you either implement this creep score bounty very intelligently, or you just don't implement it at all. And that's why I'm on the fence about it. Obviously leaning towards the removing it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out, and hope to see you in the next one.
Thanks. And you're med?
So I'm a med kit. I make pred content. I've been streaming Predecessor lately, and I'm a bit addicted. I want to make videos, but I can't help but play and stream. My message to the community is, if you're playing carry and your support takes 1 CS, don't freak the fuck out and just forfeit.
How many kills did you take, bro?
How many kills did you take, though?
It's not the CS, it's the KS. The KS is what us ADCs hate.
Okay,
all right.
If
that's the biggest thing.
Accidental KS, if it's the first one, don't freak out either. Just relax.
No, yeah, by all means, be a little bit more tolerant. There's a lot of new people, and and the majority of people think that they're way better than they actually are. By all means.
This Muriel took my CS the whole game. Looks at the scoreboard. She has 6.
Yeah, but it was the first wave.
Yeah, it was the first wave, dude. You can't take the first. That's level 2 right there, dude.
He said, dude, what are you doing, bro? You're throwing.
And Fangtooth, rotate for that shit.
Please.
Yeah, Fangtooth rotates. All right.
Yeah.
Your beard.
So we obviously found out that a medkit is the support main. His name, because he's a medkit.
I'm a fill main. I hit fill and I play anything.
Right.
I let the randoms pick what they want, and I just carry the game with whatever they need.
All right. So a couple things to the community. Enjoy the game. Do not flame your teammates. All right. It doesn't matter how bad they are. You don't know how new they are. All right. This is something that looks good and plays good, so they're probably trying it out. All right. Or a friend of them had them, hey, try this game. I played it. I enjoyed it. So they're getting somebody new to come in. All right. Not everybody who's playing this game is a Paragon OG. Okay. So allow them to give them the time. There's no tutorial yet for them to get practice or get better at it. So give them the time to actually give it. So if anything, take them under your wing and help them out. And if they don't take criticism in the game, then just let them play. All right. There's no rank mode. So if you lose, you lose. Right. We all play to win. I get it. I'm competitive. I want to get the wins, but there's no reason to flame the new people and push them out. All right. I played Fault and I watched the community do this. All right. I watched the community just push the other community away, part of the community away. So where we just played with 150 people in the game. It's not fun. Don't do it. Let's keep this positive from the get-go and help the community grow. To a meta. Keep up watching the content. You guys are doing great. I see you guys in streams. I see you, commenting on people's YouTube videos. Keep up with it because you're going to get great feedback from all of this content, not just the Predcast, which we're grateful that you guys watch this as well, but keep up watching the content because that's how you're going to help this game grow for sure.
And Robbie, fix the game. Fix the game.
Other than that, you guys can catch me here on the Bearded Wolverine Twitch if you're watching live. If not, you're watching the YouTube, it's on the Bearded Wolverine Twitch. Also, I've been posting as consistently as possible on my YouTube channel, trying to get that to grow. I think I'm at like 170 subscribers. We just reached 9,000 views on the channel, and I got my 2022 year-end review, like what it looks like, and its numbers are great, but I just want those numbers just to explode in 2023. All right, so let's keep that up. So if you could go over to that Beard Wolverine on YouTube, hit subscribe, watch some of those videos, give me some comments, give me some likes, even give me some dislikes. I don't care. Just give me some content to go off of. All right, appreciate it.
Heard. Now, I'll be honest, my little 2 cents is actually going to be for creators. A lot of creators don't know that they made a public post about their little creator guild, is what they're calling it, to kind of join a little exclusive group of creators, you know, like where we share tips, tricks, you know, like sources, like, hey, here's a bunch of PNG art, etc. Here's a little press kit and whatnot, private events and such. The fact that they are making it so people can apply is actually really, really cool. Yeah, it got posted later.
No, I thought you were talking about.
You're in there, Medkit, bro. Jesus. Anyway, but yeah, man, I really encourage creators because what is it, like I got off around midnight the other day and I couldn't sit there but help compare the amount of channels that were on Predecessor versus Overprime, and there were literally over twice the streamers, and the majority of those were new creators trying to, you know, play the game, cultivate an audience and everything, and that's actually really cool to see. You get what I mean? Like I encourage Ometa to support all those smaller creators as much as possible. I encourage Ometa to literally just go into the Twitch category, find the top clip of the week or the top 3 clips of the week, even if they didn't get shared to you, just grab those and share them just to shout out a random creator, even if it's one that's not necessarily affiliated. And I highly encourage all creators to keep the content coming. Like I've seen some creators that literally just started making content with Predecessor that are bomb as fuck, bro. Like some creators that you'll look at them and you're like, yo, why the fuck wasn't this person making video like that many videos before? Like, yo, what the fuck have you been doing with your life? Where the fuck have you been? So go follow some of these smaller creators. Don't be afraid to look at Bearded. Bearded finally hit 1,000 views on a YouTube video too, right?
That one video was actually almost 2K. I'm at 1.9 now, actually.
Well, there you fucking go. Progress. You get me? Like, it's awesome to see the creative juices flowing between people whenever Predecessor came out. And I highly encourage it, and I just want people to do more of that. As far as what I've got going on, I'm always posting videos, to be honest with you. I got a little series, like a little creator series that we got, like a couple people that we do videos with on a consistent basis, trying new ideas. And, you know, probably looking to expand that a little bit more. So if you're trying to get into that group, hit me up. You know, worst I could say is no. But yeah, I mean,
well, you could say fuck no.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
That is kind of worse.
That is a little worse. You're not wrong. But yeah, and then as far as everything, just have fun. Whatever game you want to play, awesome. Have fun. You don't got to bring other people down just so you feel better. That's a very big part too. Like, you feel me? All this eggplant writing bullshit that's been going on with people, you cut that shit out, bro. Like, the majority of people in here are 18 years or older. I'm pretty sure at some point someone skipped the hug. I'm sorry. What can I tell you? Grow the fuck up. Play the game you want to play. How does that sound? And for those of you that are here live, the Predcast is ending. We are going to start doing a little, like a secondary podcast talking about another game afterwards. So if you guys are live and you want to be a part of that, we are going to be switching categories. We're always going to start with the Predcast, and then afterwards, we're going to do the other game. So be mindful when you do come live throughout the streams that that's the specific order. Sometimes streams go a little bit longer. Like we said, this was supposed to be an hour, and we're literally almost at 2 fucking hours now.
Yeah, we are at 2 hours.
Yeah, so you see how that goes. But again, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody for showing some love. If you guys made it this far, please make sure that you leave the comment GG. And as far as Predcast goes, we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
And if you're live, just kind of hang around, to be honest with you. You're about to see us in like 30 seconds.
Stick around, it's going to be good.
Yeah.